Hello beautiful, this is Dr. Novak, and in this video and the next one, we'll talk about beliefs. What are they, how they're affecting your healing, your recovery, your life in general, and how to change them. Now to start with, what is a belief? A belief is something you consider to be a fact. It's not necessarily the truth, but you perceive it as such. And many of the beliefs you hold, you learned and accepted very early on in your childhood, because most of the beliefs are formed in the first 7 years of our lives. You know, we all learned and observed the world through our parents' responses. That's how we learned what is right and what is wrong, how to act and react in different kind of situations, what to believe, how to behave. And we saved all of this in our subconscious mind. Now, that's why what you believe, how you behave, how you react in different kind of situations, what you believe about yourself and others is a result of your early childhood experiences. This is about programming. You know, you were programmed in a certain kind of way. I was programmed in a certain kind of way. We all were programmed in a certain kind of way. Now, a lot of beliefs are formed in early childhood. However, when it comes to healing physical trauma, when we talk about injuries, we have to also know that a belief can be formed as a result of something you learn from your medical team. So if you think about if you're injured, if you think about your injury, if you think about your physical trauma, what are some of the things that you learned from your medical team? Positives, negatives? What is it? Because I can give you an example. So for example, when I fractured my ankle, what I learned is that I might be limping and in pain for the rest of my life, that I might not be able to walk on uneven surfaces for the rest of my life. When I suffered with chronic back and hip pain, a doctor told me that I would never get better without steroid injections. And here I am, without pain, without limping, wearing high heels, running, and everything else. So when it comes to physical trauma, you also have to think about these things. And that's also the reason why when I work with clients privately, we don't all just work and change beliefs, limiting beliefs that were formed decades ago. We also change those that were formed recently as a result of their physical trauma. Now, another thing that you also have to know is that, you know, as adults, we very rarely question things. And that the reason is because beliefs are also energy-saving shortcuts for our brain. So why spend extra energy on something that we already decided if it's the truth or not truth, right? But here's the catch. What you learned might hold you back. Because you have two types of beliefs. Some are empowering beliefs and some are limiting and unresourceful beliefs. Now, when it comes to suffering, physical, mental, emotional, these limiting beliefs contribute to that. So you might be suffering physically because you believe that it's impossible or very hard to improve with your condition. Or you might be suffering mentally because your beliefs are keeping you stuck in a negative way of thinking. Or perhaps, you know, even when you improve slightly, sooner or later you are back at square one because you self-sabotage because of your beliefs, right? And perhaps you are suffering emotionally because a long time ago, you learned how to deal with difficult situations. And now this is on autopilot. These are your beliefs. And because of these beliefs, you are suffering right now. Now, beliefs are all connected. And that's the reason when we suffer physically, we also suffer emotionally and mentally. That's why clients, you know, that I work with, and not just those, but also everyone that I know that is injured, when they suffer physically, they also suffer emotionally and mentally. And when we suffer mentally, we also suffer emotionally and potentially physically as well, because this manifests on outside. And when we suffer emotionally, we also, yes, suffer mentally and physically. And this is also what you tell me. The most common form of suffering of my community is physical suffering, followed by emotional and mental. And many of you, when I ask, what kind of suffering you're experiencing right now, you chose more than just one. You chose physical, and then either with a combination with emotional or mental or all three forms. So all of these beliefs are connected. And it's also not even necessary that struggles, the challenges and suffering that you are experiencing right now, that this is a result of your physical trauma. Not at all. However, even if you suffer emotionally and mentally, and this is not a result of any physical trauma, you might be or start suffering physically as well, because all of the beliefs are connected, and emotional and mental suffering express itself on the outside in our physical bodies. Yes? Now, to improve your healing, your recovery, your relationships, your finances, life in general, it is necessary to change the limiting beliefs to empowering, to resourceful beliefs. Because when you change that, everything changes. You all of a sudden start seeing things from a different kind of perspective. You start noticing resources available to you. You start taking a different kind of action that bring you to a different kind of result. Because think about it. People who are successful in any area, they have a different kind of belief system than those that are not. And we all have limiting beliefs that are holding us back. And the answer is to change them to empowering beliefs. So, even though my clients come to me with physical trauma, and even though we work on those beliefs, when we change these limiting beliefs, clients also start seeing changes in other areas of their lives, improvements in relationship, finances, life in general, because beliefs are connected. And so changing a belief in one area of life bring a difference and bring change to other areas as well. Yeah? So this is about what are beliefs and how they're affecting your healing, your life, and now the implementation part. In the next video, I will tell you how to change limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs.